welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Alana here. Welcome back to 3 Degrees of Love Divination. So I want to again wish you guys a happy Chinese New Year. Also, as I'm filming this, it is also Black History Month, and as I'm filming this, as I was saying, it's February 14th, Friday, February 14th, 2025. So happy Valentine's Day. And as my channel's namesake, it's all about love and the various kinds of love and how we share that amongst one another. And of course, leading the way is romantic love, of course, because the history, and I think I've briefly talked about this in, I believe, a video I did maybe a couple years ago. If I find the thumbnail, I'll put it up on screen during editing. But the idea that, connect to Saint Valentine and that the whole sort of historical background where that is concerned, anyways, so speaking of that, I wanted to address the cards that actually came out in front of me because I'm still using the messages from Light meditation deck, by US Games, and these are the cards that came up, and I want to read to you the messages for each card because I feel like it's a very important, valuable message, not only for today, and the fact that I feel like it's not a coincidence that Valentine's Day happens to fall within the month dedicated to Black History Month. And that sort of, and even Chinese New Year, that understanding that, right, there's something to celebrate within various cultures within this specific month. And considering how divided the world is currently with everything going on, especially in the US and, but all around the globe, right? And I keep always mentioning the fact that we're in a global mental health crisis, and just even when I reflect upon conversations I've had, and how I've been feeling in the last couple of days, and remembering too, as I've mentioned, as a Heyoka empath, right, how sensitive I naturally am to anyway, and the emotions around me and things like that, and the energy. So so I've, because of how that's affected me, physically speaking, mentally speaking, I've become a very rather actual hermit. And funny, this is a hermit year. It's also the year of the wood snake. So, the idea of transformation and illumination and, truth and introspection, and anyways, you get it. And so, and just the idea, when I pulled these cards first before I read the guidebook, what I was gathering is the idea, to me, it's that flame, that passion, that drive, that energy that comes from within, that illumination, that inner power that right? The drive for things that we do, creation, as creation is the next card, right? Creativity, you know, and so, you know, what wakes us up inside, you know, our likes and dislikes. Also, realizing that we are actually more connected than we realize or care to admit or have forgotten, it seems. Sorry about that. I have binaural beats playing in the background, and it went to commercial because it's YouTube. Anyways, which I'm probably gonna edit this part anyways. Anyhow, right? What we put out in the world, what we create, we become, right? And because of all the negativity and the trauma and the unhealed shadow work, the lack of shadow work that seems to be lacking amongst individuals, amongst communities, right? How it's affected us on all aspects of life, right? And so it just you know, and anyway, so again, you know, bringing back to that idea, that energy, and, you know, that passion and that connectivity with one another, right? And it doesn't matter where we come from, who we are. When your vibration is high, when you are, when you can you are able to remove yourself from your physical journey, to open up your mind to being able to see and respect and know another story, you can see how more connected we are than we are disconnected. But somewhere along the way, the blindness, the mental blindness, because of all the trauma that we've endured, has kept us from remembering that. Also, you know, as karmic cycle, generationally, right, we're prone to cycling certain aspects of behavior, right? The choices we make. And remembering that, you know, the Lover's card, which, actually, here, we got it. Let's see. Actually, no, because I'm going to use this one. The Bix Tarot, because actually this is going to lead shortly and depending on how long this aspect of this might be, I might do it in another video. But anyways, let's just, yeah. Okay, so actually, yeah. Okay, wait, give me a minute. Let's see. Well, at least you get to flip through this deck again, if I didn't yet already. While I look for this card here, so you can see the cards, and I'll talk more about this deck later. But okay. Yeah. Okay. Actually, maybe I will. Just as I've. Nope, that's not the. Where did it go? Hang on. Wait a minute. Oop, there we go. Okay. There we go. Okay. So the okay, and I'll tell you why in a second. First off, as I was talking about the number 6 being the choice card, but it's also known as the lover's card, and right, it's about, to me, the choice is also representative of a mirrored image, the person, you connecting with another who is reflective of aspects of yourself, and in more than one way, right? So, you know, the balance aspect of self, which includes your light and shadow parts, right? Those aspects of self that, you know, maybe you've kept hidden or you feel that ashamed about. It's not until you've done the shadow work and the healing work to uncover certain aspects that may be still unconscious that you are able to bring to the surface. Are you able to then really get to know thyself and see thyself in others as well, right? Okay. And that's where, to me, where it leads into from creation, the stillness, the meditation. From another deck, I pulled a card that read Tabula Mundi, which is actually a practice from ancient Roman times. I'll show you the card here. So this is the card. This is actually from this new deck that I recently grabbed, which is actually the same creator as the Night School, Miatol. This is published by the same. So this is RP Minis, which is affiliated, same affiliation, RP Studio, as you can see here, and oops, as I've been using that deck, and you know, sort of figuring out how to work it into, you know, what I've been currently using and such. This is how it happened to come up. And right, so the idea that, you know, in ancient Roman times, a tabula rasa, or did I say mundi? I think I said mundi earlier. Anyways, this is what I meant. Tabula rasa was a reusable wax tablet that could be erased by heating it and smoothing out the wax. As an important part of the divination process, you can use the image of a tabula rasa to clear your mind and energy field. This allows you to see more clearly when you are divining. Okay. And to me, this, you know, still, you know, applies to the idea of mindfulness and meditation, and you know, when we are doing that shadow work, right? Okay, so there's that. Also, three here we have 3 and 4. This is right the major from the major arcana, and I pulled out the Empress and the Emperor. And just so the thing with this deck, the Bix Tarot, and I don't remember if when I first mentioned this deck, if I read this aspect of the concept of this deck very clearly or explained it, whatever. So I did talk about what inspired me to pull out this deck in the first place, which of course was the beloved Heather, Indigo, known as Indigo Jaguar on YouTube, and was recently a part of my this year's 2025 hashtag Bell Let's Talk Day video that I did special, which also included Ange of Roots and Waves Divination, and Tom Benjamin of a Fool's Journal, and we had a wonderful discussion talking about mental health and and divination and how working with tarot. Anyways, if you haven't seen that video, please go check it out. It's my 4th annual that I've done before in previous years with other wonderful souls, all talking about mental health and divination and therapy and spirituality and all of that. So be sure to check that out, and I'll have all of that linked in the description box, of course. But so and the idea of water and how the connectivity to our emotions, right? And that's in the tarot would be the equivalent to the Cups suit, right? And that brings me and triggers my memory to go into Psalm 23. And so I'm trying to remember, because I now have to go through the whole prayer in my head to remember the part that I'm about to reference. So give me a second. My cup runneth over. And to me that symbolizes the idea of emotional fulfillment, that overflowing of abundance, right? But we can apply that to all the various suits of the tarot, right? Mental abundance and clarity, which to me that would signify the aspect of knowledge, right? And the cup suit, of course, water, emotions, the wand suit, which is the passion, the drive, the will that we have, right, to create. And so, and then the pentacles would be the tangible items that we have created, right? The aspects that we, the material abundance, right? So yeah. And anyway, and so back to the Emperor and the Empress here, and we have the energies of the masculine and feminine, right? And behind this card for the Empress, we see what looks like more earthbound, right? The idea of the wheat harvest, right? That sort of feminine energy. Then we have the sort of the masculine energy, and right, and they both have their crowns, but behind this we have the fire, representing that, you know, that passion, that will of and drive to create. But we all have that, because we all have the elements. We both have both polarities, right? Those both flow within us all, regardless of your your gender, color, creed, right? And it's when when that is balanced in a healthy manner, then that is how we polarity bring ourselves to our counterpart, our equal counterpart. And I think that's the idea of the twin flame journey. But that's a whole nother, which I'm not going to get into in this video, that I've, you know, been learning about and things like that. But anyway, anywho, so, and I think what I meant to, and I was getting into and then stopped, but again, talking about the Bix Tarot, why I was using this in this video here. So and what I wanted to read to understand the concept. So the Bix Tarot: follow the white rabbit. Not just any rabbit, not a real rabbit. Follow a rabbit-shaped idea. A character born out of the sea of imagination, whose guidance can lightly thread across the boundary, between the material and the spiritual. And then, of course, it now covers the major arcana, you know what? Actually, I will read this. So, the major arcana. And this, okay. The major arcana. The story of the major arcana calls us to explore the grand journey of the life of the universe through the cards. These are universal truths and archetypes so profound that they exist both within and beyond the realm of individual experience. The collective, universal power that also resides within each and every one of us. Join us now as our dear friend Bix, the rabbit, makes his journey along the path. Follow the white rabbit to explore more and more. Further down the rabbit hole, to behold at its core the very heart of the universe, knowledge of self. So I love how that's outlined here in this tarot guidebook here, by Los Cabello. But the thing is, of course, this one is in multiple languages, so even though the paragraphs are very small and sort of limited, not a lot of information, I feel like it gives you that vital information as a great deck for not only beginners, but also if you are working, you know, with it in collaboration with therapy, because in so many different ways, because it's very it's, what's that word I'm looking for, very open, almost like a tabula rasa in a sort of sense. Because it gives you the images and the meanings of the cards, but it's a white rabbit. The idea of going down a rabbit hole, right? Allowing your imagination to right, your inner aspects of self and exploring that. Okay, so that's what I wanted to really mention about the Bix Tarot. Now, sort of getting back to these cards, right? We are all a part of nature. And I think I've mentioned that before, and that understanding, well, if love is the highest vibration, then, you know, and humanity is, you know, based on the pyramid, the philosopher for that is eluding me right now. I'm sorry, but when I find it, I'll, of course, you know, and that idea that we're the top of the food chain, humanity. So technically, we are connected to the highest degree of what nature is. And to me, nature, the aspect, how creation, that's love. It takes love to create that spark, right? And the idea of what we create, we become. Well, that becomes our nature. And right now, the state of humanity and the state of our world, including everything, all that is going on right now, all of the you know, the global warming, you know, the mental health, our mental health crisis, you know, the state of politics and all of that, right? That's because of this continued cycle that we've of behavior and choices that we've been making on every level of existence. And so that idea, that curiosity to, you know, to introspect, to get to understand, so that we can uncover those unconscious behaviors that are edged into our DNA across the globe, across all races, all genders, all whatever, right? That is keeping us disconnected from one another. To bring us back and reminding ourselves of who we are and our humanity takes the curiosity. The curiosity to dive within aspects of self and uncover all of those patterns of behavior that are draining to self and those around us, that are draining to our entire collective existence. The toxicity of ego. Okay. I'm going to read passion. Passion. How long is this video so far? Oh, okay. Okay, passion. passion, the sacred flame of desire, cannot be extinguished, but it can be guided by careful intent to what is true, pure, and of lasting importance. Okay. Creation. Creation. As above, so below. The world we hold in the focus of the mind is the world we will inhabit. Become conscious of what you are envisioning. Okay. Nature. Nature. Immerse yourself in growing things, in wide open spaces, in rich loam, water, and sunlight. You are part of a greater whole, which is eager to provide the respite, the energies, and the inspiration you crave. And lastly, curiosity. Okay. Curiosity. The same thing that eludes us all links us all. Curiosity leads to understanding. Follow your interest. Find common ground with people of all backgrounds. Yes. Like, I feel like each message there strung together gives you that larger understanding and message. So now that brings me to back to the Bix Tarot, and these two books here, the activity, the Tarot Activity book, published by Andy Matzner, but is now Drea Bloom, and same goes for Everyone Has a Story. So these are definitely created by a psychotherapist that is a part of the LGBTQ plus community. And I absolutely love and admire. And so, yeah. And how I've been working with these books in tandem with, you know, the work I do, you know, in my own spiritual practice, and also, you know, combining that with the work that I do personally in therapy. Now, before I get into this aspect of the video, here's where I'm going to put my disclaimer. And so, you know, as much as I do promote, you know, and I work with tarot and, you know, these other forms of wellness, you know, to address things like mindfulness and, you know, shadow work and stuff like that. To me, to do this work right, you need to be doing this in tandem with professional guidance. And I can't stress that enough. And that's why, part of the reason why, with, you know, combined with my professional experience, would be telling you that you need to be doing this, as I said, in tandem with some form of therapy, which to me will first be guided when you reach out for professional advice. Just remembering to take everything that I've been saying with a grain of salt, because, yes, as I have that professional experience, as a social worker, and I am using that experience in combination with my own spiritual practice and the work I do on my own with, in therapy with my own professional advisor. It's all just a matter of opinion and education and all that I have been learning and want to share with you. So with that, and also is very clearly stated when, in the book, in this book, right? Understanding that everyone has a story, and that, I know is the motivation for creating this book. And I couldn't be more pleased to, for this to have, come along my path, to my attention, because it's so in alignment with everything that I have been doing, what I feel I've devoted my life, professionally speaking, to my education and all of that, and just, right? And so wanting to help and, share healing practices, and such, right? And so, and, really promoting that reminder that we're all human and we're all living a human experience, and so it's very mindful of us remembering that we're not, that we are recognizing the aspects of self that have been negatively influenced by our experiences, but we're also not using that as a shield and motivation for why, we hold ourselves in higher regard than another, because we are all the same, regardless of color, gender, religious upbringing, spiritual upbringing, our various levels of education, or even financial status or immigration status. We are all connected. We are all valuable to the functioning of our world. Anyway, so so that's my disclaimer in regards to, especially when it comes to, my series that I mentioned, in a previous video, that I wanted to sort of revamp how I was doing it, and what was, within the videos. So this is kind of, if you will, I would say, is a full moon in Leo, which just occurred just maybe now 2 days ago now, because like I'm saying, I'm filming this, early on Valentine's Day, and that happened, and our full moon in Leo happened to be on February 12th. So, with that, part full moon reading, but also the beginning start of my revamped of my therapy and tarot series here on YouTube. So welcome. And thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And, you know, and I hope that what I'm offering is also, you know, something that you will find helpful and useful on your journey as you continue to forge forth, right, in this lifetime here, you know, present and, you know, moving forward into the future, you know, for the greater and highest good of self, as well as those around us, our loved ones, our community, and essentially, globally speaking, for all of humanity. So, yeah. So anyways, everyone has a story. And I just wanted to take a minute because, oh, you know what? And I might have to pause and come back, but, hold on. Actually, I really like this quote here in the beginning of the book here. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds, by Marcus Garvey. Basically, I think what it was is about getting to know your story and mapping out your timeline and, you know, whatever. A part of getting to know yourself. But what to me, when I also have been thinking about this book, Everyone Has a Story, has also sort of triggered the thought of another book. Hold on one second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get the book. But this is by Rick Warren, and this is What on Earth Am I Here For? The Purpose-Driven Life. So this just kind of reminded me a little bit of the Drea Bloom book, published under Andy Matzner. Everyone Has a Story. But in here, so this book, the way it's also outlined is, so what on earth am I here for? A life devoted to things is a dead life, a stump. A God-shaped life is a flourishing tree. And that's Proverbs chapter 11, verse 28. And I forget MSG. I can't remember what translation that stands for. But yeah, and you know, and it's just the idea, to me, this is just another what's the word? Perspective, right? About the hero's journey, which to me sort of takes on a more Christian-like point of view on the same topic, if you will. So, you know, so that's just a recommendation that I thought that I would share with you, because this is a book I've had in my collection for a bit. And so, yeah. So anyhow, so that's What on Earth Am I Here For? The Purpose-Driven Life, by Rick Warren. And to me, you know, that really speaks to the you know, more of a spiritual sort of point of view, you know, like I said, more, you know, Christian based, if you will. that to me sort of helps to do that introspective dive, of self, getting to know thyself and your true purpose, your truth here on earth, your life path, right? Okay. Anyways. So now, in this part, I want to talk, again, getting back into the Tarot Activity book. And here's the one. So, this one is the meaning of life. And so I hope that as I go through this activity with you, that you will be willing to do the exercise and share with me in the comments below if you've done it, what that felt like. Did you learn, what did you learn that you're willing to share with me about maybe yourself that maybe you didn't really pay attention to before, or that maybe sparked or triggered a passion for you, something that you are wanting to go down the rabbit hole even further with, right? And like I said, anything that can be negatively triggering, you want to make sure that you are working with a professional, have professional support, and even if that's not available to you presently, reaching out to a trusting, supportive ally for the time being to work through this. I would never recommend doing this by yourself. Sometimes, yes, it's warranted. Other times, depending on how deep you're getting, I wouldn't recommend it to be doing it alone. And that's why I always will say and promote therapy and seeking professional guidance and assistance and support. Always. And that's why I also will have limited resources linked in regards to that, linked down below in the description box. Always. Okay? So anyways, so back to the activity, the meaning of life. So the objective is to think about why you are here and what truly matters about being alive. Background. Throughout the ages, people have wondered about what it means to be alive and if there is a purpose to life. They have asked questions such as, why are we here? Why am I here? What is the nature of reality? What is the purpose of life? What is valuable in life? What makes life meaningful? What are we living for? Of course, the answers have been plentiful and varied. To live one's dreams, to be happy, to serve others, to be connected to the divine, to fulfill one's potential, to do good, to be authentic, to seek wisdom, to challenge oppression, to seek pleasure, to love. And some believe that there simply is no meaning to life. Please consider the following quotes. Copy in your journal the one or ones which resonate the most with you. I feel the capacity to care is the thing which gives life its deepest significance. By Pablo Casals. Although a man may have no jurisdiction over the fact of his existence, he can hold supreme command over the meaning of existence for him. Norman Cousins. Our prime purpose in this life is to help others, and if you can't help them, at least don't hurt them. The Dalai Lama. I think everybody should get rich and famous and do everything they ever dreamed of so they can see that it's not the answer. Jim Carrey. Beyond work and love, I would add Beyond work and love, I would add 2 other ingredients that give meaning to life. First, to fulfill whatever talents we are born with. However blessed we are by fate with different abilities and strengths, we should try to develop them to the fullest rather than allow them to atrophy and decay. We all know individuals who did not fulfill the promise they showed in childhood. Many of them became haunted by the image of what they might have become. Instead of blaming fate, I think we should accept ourselves as we are and try to fulfill whatever dreams are within our capability. Second, we should try to leave the world a better place than when we entered it. As individuals, we can make a difference, whether it is to probe the secrets of nature, to clean up the environment and work for peace and social justice, or to nurture the inquisitive, vibrant spirit of the young by being a mentor and a guide. Michio Kaku. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Okay. To be what we are and to become what we are capable of becoming is the only end of life. Sorry. By Robert Louis Stevenson. The meaning of life is to find your gift. The purpose of life is to give it away. Unknown. So I'm not going to read all of them because there's actually quite a bit. But now, what I will read is, now it is time to express your own thoughts. You have lived life and had a multitude of experiences. What is your own philosophy of life? What do you believe is the meaning and purpose of life? Please write your answer in your journal. It can be as brief or detailed as you wish. Process. Your goal is to transfer what you have written in your journal to an art or craft piece. First, slowly go through your tarot deck and choose one or more cards that relate to your idea of the meaning of life. When you have finished, consider how you might represent the meaning of life in artwork featuring the card or cards that you have chosen. The medium is up to you. So, of course, I invite you to take part and share with me what you came up with. And free to comment down below. Thank you for, if you made it this far, please definitely put in the 3 hearts, my signature 3 hearts, because this is a channel all about love and mental health and tarot and, you know, community building and introspection and healing and wellness. So, you know, please like, share, and subscribe. And, you know, as I always say, I am love and so are you. As I see myself as human, I know you are too. And so as I leave you with all this, you know, today, I hope that you will take the time to reflect on everything that, you know, I've shared with you, you know, in this video, will remember to take care of yourself and each other. And while you're at it, don't forget about me too. And as always, please don't forget to always check your privilege and mind your magic. I love you so, so much. And until I see you again next time, talk to you again next time, always live, listen, and learn. I love you. Bye.